Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be in response to a comment that I received on a recent video. The person's struggling with some things, and I think that it's relevant to a lot of people on this channel. So basically, and I'm going to go through two parts of what the person says, and the topic on this is whenever you're in the early parts of this and you're really struggling to break free from your toxic ex, and that struggle within you of trying to decide what's the right thing to do, what's the course of action, especially whenever you're really struggling to try to get rid of the pain. But first, I'm Duane. If you want to learn how to get your life back, break the cycle of emotional abuse, repair the relationship with yourself and your kids, start right now by subscribing, clicking the bell notification so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the comment on this, and basically, let me just says basically, I really follow your channel and find it the most valuable than anything else out there. Anyways, so it gets into she texted me that she wants to talk. So his ex has texted him saying that she wants to talk, and the pain is so much that I feel if she tells me to go back or asks me to go back, I will just go to get rid of the pain. I know I shouldn't go there. I know I shouldn't go, but I also know if I don't, I will suffer for years, so I have to choose between suffering for years or going back. Can you help me? My reasoning tells me not to go, but then again, it tells me, hey, if you just go back, you won't be in any more pain. I'm getting crazy now. This sucks so much. I sound pitiful. Okay, so first part on this. Nobody's pitiful for feeling these things. You are going through an incredibly emotionally troubling experience. It hurts like nothing you've ever experienced before, and you want it to stop. You want the pain to stop. I think most of us, when we're going through this, want this nightmare to be over, and we don't want to believe that the relationship before was an illusion. We want to get back to that illusion. We want to get over this pain. So that is a very common feeling. I felt the exact same way. Now the difference is every time I tried to open up the door for some communication, boop, I got jabbed right in the eye. I was like, oh crap, that was painful. In some ways that was nice. Well, nice isn't the right word, but it was good because it reinforced that it was not a good situation. Now, potentially, if this person does go and meets with their ex, that could be the same experience. This might not be one of those reconciliatory conversations where they're trying to get back with you. It could be to lull you back in, get you to re-engage, get you to let your vulnerability down so they can go boop right back in your eye. So the reality of this, though, or the thing to really consider is most of the time when we get back with a toxic ex, it's worse the second go around. It's still prone for disaster. You're not necessarily getting over any of the pain. You are just extending your whole recovery period and potentially setting yourself up for more problems. There have been a handful of people over the course of the 3+ years on this channel who have done that, who have thought that they were able to reconcile, went back with their ex, and for the most part, within a year, they're back on the channel going, oh crap, that was a mistake, and then they're starting back over. Here's the problem though. Unless you're feeling these emotions, nobody else can really relate to it. Everyone here on this channel, I think, pretty much can understand, pretty much feels it, understands what they're dealing with, understands what other people are dealing with when these things come up. I would imagine there's a lot of people watching this video that were going, oh crap, yeah, I went through that. The thing is, you have to make the best decision for you, and you have to make the best decision for you at the time. Now, I would prefer that everyone understand what they're dealing with, not put themselves through that, and to not go down that path. That's the best course of action in my mind for all of you, for anybody watching this. The reality is, as what I was talking about with me, is sometimes we have to re-engage with these people to prove to us that they are who we think they are, that the pain is just still going to be there, and that it's not going to be, it's not going to ever go back to the illusion of what we thought it was in the past. That's a really tough thing to come to grips with. That is really tough. You're going to have to mourn the death of that illusion. You're going to have to process all of those emotions and to be able to move on. And it's not easy. I struggled with that. I wish I didn't. I wish I could have just made my peace with that and not had to do it. But I get it. I absolutely understand it. And a lot of you guys are going to struggle with that. The thing is you have to take a step back and look at the reality of the situation. Oftentimes what I advise people, if they are in those situations where they're like, well, maybe they're not as bad as I thought, or maybe this scenario is different, or maybe we can come to an understanding. You have to take a complete look at everything, the actions, the words, the behaviors, and really look at it objectively to see the reality of it. So if you try something different, or you try to reach out, or you try to have, like in this situation, you go and have that conversation, make a list of things that are a problem. They're condescending, they don't listen to me, they devalue me and put me down, and everything's always my fault, whatever. Whatever the issue might be that's important to you, have your interaction, and then go back to that list and say, okay, well, what really happened? Not the little cherry-picked crumbs that you might, get in that conversation where you're like, oh, okay, things are a little bit better. Really look at it in detail and with a clear mind, so that you completely understand what you're dealing with. So I basically responded to the person with that, and they replied back with, I was doing no contact, as you said in other videos of yours. Also, she has all the signs of a narc, as you explained in your videos. Watched all of them at least twice. They wanted to get that through my thick head. I can relate to that. There was a period of time where I was just drilling this information into my head, trying to just force myself to see reality, because I was really struggling with this. It just sucks to have to choose to not go and suffer, or go and suffer again. Both ways is suffering. Yes, except the one thing is that going back and getting back with a toxic person, there's no chance for the suffering to stop. It's going to continue. Whereas in this situation, he gets into a comment that I'll get to in a second. Says, I'm 34 and I feel like I will be alone forever now. No, 34 is still pretty young. You have a lot of time to heal from this and still have a significant portion of your life left to find quality, non-toxic people who can complement your life that you don't necessarily need, as I'm talking over the airplane. I'll pause for a second. Okay, let me jump back in now that the plane has gotten a little bit farther away. Bottom line is that being stuck with somebody who's toxic means you're going to be stuck with somebody who's toxic forever. Breaking free from them gives you the opportunity to heal, to get your life back, and as I was saying before I was interrupted, to change the type of people that are in your life to quality, supportive people that help to enhance your life, to help to make it better, and you get to the point where you don't need somebody. You don't need somebody to complete you or to validate you. You have to learn how to be able to do that yourself so that you're not prone to get into these, not conversations, but into these relationships. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is, he goes, you say I'm not pitiful, but why the heck do I feel nice just seeing a message from the ex? Even though I know she is who she is and she will hurt me again. Well, it's because you want the illusion to be real. You don't want this reality that you're starting to see to be real. So whenever and I get it, there was a period of time in the beginning where I wanted that connection because that was the only thing I had. And then it turns into viciousness, which is really tough. But you have to understand that you're still dealing with or still reeling with the emotional connection you have with that relationship, with that illusion of what it was before or what you thought it was. So still having that connection or having them reach out is going to give you that dopamine hit. It is going to make you feel like a little hit of a drug. I mean, that's understandable. You have to recognize that too and understand what you're dealing with so you don't allow that to control you. So he goes on to say, I have all the information I need to get over her. Still, the pain doesn't go away or get any better. And I think the underlying thought on that is, and you guys have, anyone who's been on this channel hears me say this a lot. The way you're feeling today does not dictate how you're going to feel forever. However, whenever you're in that moment and that pain really hurts, that is what everything in your mind and your body and your spirit is focusing on. You're focusing on the trauma that you're dealing with right this minute. Think about it this way. If you break a bone or you get injured, physically injured somehow, you're going to be focused on that pain right in the moment. Well, until you go into shock, right? But that does not mean that's going to be the rest of your life. You know, there may be some chronic issues and it may take a while, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be feeling the same way forever. All of us have the capacity to heal from this, to be able to grow and to mitigate the experience, grow from it, and to learn to where we don't repeat it. So I know that this particular person is really struggling right now. I mean, I think I read this part where they were talking about where they've been no contact for a couple of weeks. Maybe I didn't read that part, but this is all still very raw for this person. They're still right in the middle of it. This is a very tough time because you're still in the midst of all the emotional angst over this. So for this person, I would say give yourself some time to think. Give yourself some time to breathe. Try to think or realize that this isn't your forever, that you are going to have time to heal from this. Yes, it's going to hurt and it's not going to be pleasant, but it doesn't mean that you're going to feel that way forever. Does it mean you're going to feel that way for a while? Unfortunately, yes. When you are out of a relationship with a really toxic, emotionally abusive person, it takes a while to process it. And they're hoovering around like what this is happening in this situation, or them giving you mixed messages can really drive you crazy because you're still trying to grapple with what you think is real, what you hope is not real, and what you want to have happen. And to be perfectly honest, in the early stages of this, every one of us wants this to go away, the relationship to get fixed, some miraculous therapy or something to break through to the other person, or for even us to be able to break through the other person, realize that this is a colossal mistake, and to go forward having a better life. I had that same thing when I started therapy or marriage counseling with my ex. I actually felt really good. It's like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to learn how to communicate. Our relationship's going to be better. I mean, I was already gearing myself up. So had she done anything, any breadcrumb that could have let my brain believe that that was a reality, I would have gobbled it up in an instant. In my situation, fortunately, it didn't feel fortunate at the time, fortunately, she knew what I wanted. And she's stubborn, so she was like, no way in hell am I going to give you anything that you want because I'm stubborn, and no way in hell. You know, I'm the winner, you're the loser, I'm the victim, meaning her. She's the victim, I'm the abuser. So that's it, and that's the way it has to be. I had to come to terms with that for anything to happen. And as a result of that, she wouldn't do any breadcrumbs. My fear is, in a situation like what this person's talking about, depending on how their ex is, if they're realizing, oh crap, this whole situation isn't as great as I thought it was going to be, let me suck this person back in so I can keep my status quo, then they can do that. I think in my situation, had my ex realized, oh crap, you know, this isn't going to be as nice as I think it's going to be, which technically it still was. I mean, you know, she got to retire for 8 years before, you know, she just recently got a job. So, you know, but I think that was part of my problem is it's like, oh, wait a minute. She was thinking, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to deal with him because I'm going to get all his money and I'm going to get full custody of the kids. And, you know, hey, this is a good deal for me. That's the risk, right? That's the thing you have to be aware of. So anybody struggling with this, you have to take a look at the entire big picture on what you're dealing with. Really see what's going on. really look at what's going on, not just what you want to see, not just what you're hoping to see, but look at what the actions and the words are really indicating so that you don't continue to stay in a mess. I get it. I get the struggle on this. I really do. And it's just, I hate to see people go through it because I can still remember how it felt for me, and it wasn't pleasant. But it does get better. So on that, I'm going to wrap this up. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please put those in the comments section down below. If you feel like you could benefit from some coaching, you can find out more doing some coaching time with me at dadsurvivingdivorce.com/coaching. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.